All right, guys, it's Andy. She blinded me refractors here with Michael, Double X the Beast again. Grown men talking baseball cards. How's it going tonight, Michael?
It's going good. I can't believe this actually lasted 3 episodes.
I know we haven't been canceled yet, so that's
We're practically now.
I don't know that. Well, unless we did something just absolutely obscene, I don't think that they have a cancellation policy. I guess people can unsubscribe, so
Not doing anything.
we better not push our luck on that.
No. No.
All right, so we've got a couple of different things we're going to do tonight. The first thing we wanted to do is answer a couple of questions that people had posted from our last episodes. So the first question we have here is from Rick Hoops, and he asks, in collecting the new stuff, 1981 and newer, considering all the packs and boxes that you have busted throughout the years, I realize you've had some good hits, but concerning the time and money involved here, are you ahead of the game or have you taken a loss? That is a good question, Rick Hoops. I'll let you go first, Michael, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Just without actually putting pen to paper and thinking about it, I'm probably quite a bit ahead overall, mainly because of, from 2012 through 2016 doing a lot of Bowman prospecting. I would have been way more money ahead if I would have just kept it sealed. I mean, because in 2015, I believe it was, in February of 2015, at that point in time, I bought 25 hobby cases of 2013 Bowman Draft, and I busted all of them. And then I bought another 5 cases almost immediately after, so that made it 30 cases right there. And then at the National that year, I don't remember exactly how many I bought there. It was several more.
Probably like 5 or 6.
5 or 6 more. So just that year, 2015, I did over 35 cases of 2013 Bowman Draft. And those weren't the only ones I ever did. So I definitely did more than 40 cases of those. Well, when Aaron Judge blew up, if I would have just had those sealed, you're talking a couple $100,000 worth. Or if I would have just kept him a little bit longer, it would have been crazy. But the question was more so, was I ahead or was I behind? Definitely ahead on the Bowman stuff. Probably pretty close to even on 90s basketball, busting it, 15 years after it came out. I'd say I hit some big ones. You have a lot of those boxes where you just hit the stuff you're supposed to hit, the odds. You're not going to come out ahead on those types of things most of the time. So pretty even there. In the 2000s, I did a lot of legendary cuts, did a lot of, different Donruss Leaf playoff stuff. A lot of that I did pretty well on, probably overall. Panini stuff, I'm definitely behind on Panini stuff, what little I have done. So I'd say just in general, the full scope of me busting, I'm ahead a little bit. Not huge amounts, but definitely ahead.
And would you say that one of the reasons that this is kind of an interesting thing. Like, do you think that one of the reasons you're ahead, like when it comes to like the Bowman stuff, is because you did such large volume? So maybe it kind of like, took away some of the volatility, maybe.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that. The volume helps. I kind of got to the point where I stopped busting things at release as much, which you make more money at release, but you have to work hard. You have to really sell that stuff like immediately. Well, I finally got to the point where I would buy the previous year's Bowman Draft. I'd try to get quite a few cases of that. You could take your time. You could bust a lot, grade a lot, and wait on it to come back, and you weren't in such a big hurry just to move that stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than what you think. But absolutely doing the volume and putting player lots together or sets, you get a lot of your money back just in base cards. For example, 2013 Bowman Draft, when I did those 40-ish cases, Aaron Judge, I had 500 cards between base cards, chrome, refractors, everything. Well, those lots go for – those lots, I probably got $600-700 for like him, Correa, Buxton, some of the better guys. Well, that adds up really fast when you got, a couple hundred guys in the set or 300 guys in the set. So, yeah, volume definitely helps.
Yeah, Okay, so I can say pretty easily on my end of the spectrum, which I think is probably more typical than yours. I think you, when it comes to opening stuff, you've been very lucky, I would say. I'm kind of like where most people probably are as far as opening product, and I would say that I'm probably well behind when it comes to that kind of stuff. One example I can think of, which is it's just kind of like right before the era that he's talking about, but you'll remember this. At the National one year, I bought a 1979 Topps rack box, and at the time it was $650. My plan was to bust it, hopefully, get some PSA 10s graded, maybe make a little bit of a profit. So I sent in probably about 45 to 50 cards, not a single PSA 10 in the whole box. So I was out 650 for the box, probably, I don't know, at that time the grading was probably like 650 a card, so probably another 300, 350 for the grading fees. And when all was said and done, I probably sold all those cards for probably like $250. So, you're looking at what is that, like
Negative $800 or something.
$750 loss on a single box. And like I just think that typically, especially with newer product, like especially if you're just opening like a single box, I mean, you're probably lucky to get 50% of your money back on a single box.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Probably, probably average, I would say. So that would be my answer to the question. Do I like if? And I don't know if this is what he's getting at, but if the question is, do I think it's a good idea to open boxes if you're looking to make money? No.
No.
That would be,
Buy singles.
Yeah, buy singles.
Yeah,
because for every big card you hit, you're going to have 10, 15 boxes that are just duds.
Yeah, you will, and then you get left with a bunch of crap that you don't want. I mean,
yeah, and that's another thing that quickly just popped into my head is, do you remember the case of 2012 Bowman draft I busted?
I do. You hit a super refractor, a gold auto, maybe a printing plate or two. I don't remember. I know. I mean, I remember odds wise.
Yeah.
You looked really good.
Refractor, a 1-of-1 super refractor. I hit a 1-of-1 printing plate. I hit a gold refractor auto, and then you get like your standard one auto per box. Unfortunately for my case, the best auto that I got was Marcus Stroman, who even at that time was not that great. I mean, he was like a $15, $20 auto at that time.
Right.
Paying $100 a box. I mean, it's bad when you can pull something like a super refractor like that, and you're still like lose $500 on the case.
Yeah, it's definitely bad. And then and I've had cases like that, and then I've had cases where it just seems like it's phenomenal. Like you can't go wrong. I opened one box or one case I opened of 2013 Bowman draft. This is before I did the huge volume. I just did single case I'd ordered from Atlanta Sports Cards, and I remember I had one box, one box. It was like the first or second box in the case. I open it up and I get a Clint Frazier blue refractor auto. At that time, that was a big card. There's number 99. It was, I don't know, a few $100. I go through the rest of the box, and at that time, the Aflac autos were a bonus auto. I hit a Chris Bryant Aflac auto in the same box with the Frazier number 99. Yeah. I go a little bit later. I hit a non-auto, just a printing plate, I can't remember, one of the better guys in the product. So that one box early in that case, the cases back then were $550, $600, and I was ahead after one box. And it wasn't from just one single big pull. It was, multiples to kind of get you there. So you can have some bad ones, but you can have good ones. If you open enough, you're going to have good ones.
I just kind of think of breaking boxes like that. I mean, it's fun, but at the end of the day, like you said, you're not gonna make money most of the time, and most of the time you're gonna end up with a bunch of stuff, even the good stuff that you really don't even want. So then you have to sell it. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work for the little bit of fun it is to open.
Yeah, it is. And I always tell people opening boxes, it's the funnest part of the hobby for me, but it's also the most riskiest thing I can do. You hear about people talking about investing in the hobby and things like that. That it's probably the worst investment you can make at the same time. It's keep it sealed. I mean, it's okay to buy boxes and keep it sealed. And, I tell everybody, bust some. I mean, don't just not bust them.
So I'll show you my advice when it comes to.
That's it right there. That's exactly right. That the 05?
Yeah, that is the 2005 Contenders football steel case. And, like you get luck if you open that case and you got lucky, you could hit Aaron Rodgers PSA 10 auto that's worth, $14,000-$15,000. But, what if you don't pull one? You're probably going to be left with, I don't know, maybe $200 or $300 worth of stuff in that whole case.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
And then what if you do hit one, but it only grades like an 8 or 9?
Yep.
There's just so many factors that go into it. So I do think that keeping unopened is a good investment.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
The moment you open it, the investment is, probably out the toilet.
Oh yeah, no, it is, but bust cheaper products. Bust cheap products.
Yeah.
Get you if you like when Bowman does come out, buy you a hobby case and bust it for whatever they're a lot more expensive now. Back when I was busting a lot of it, you could get most of them for well under $1,000, even a jumbo case there for a while. And
yeah,
it wasn't bad for what you got, even because the base chromes and the base cards they added up enough that you could typically get at least 25-30% of your investment back just the junk essentially. Yeah. So, that's not bad. But
no, and I do like to occasionally open a box or some packs because it's kind of like the root of the hobby.
Sure.
So, it is fun to do that, but yeah, you don't want to get carried away with it.
Was that last year that you and I we went to Dallas to go pick up one of my BGS orders, I think, right? And we decided to bust us a single box each of 2012 Bowman Draft.
That's probably been like 3 years ago.
Years ago, I don't remember when we did that, but yeah, I know it was at least 5 years after the product had been out.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, it was just brutal.
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, I probably got like $20 worth of cards, and what did we pay? Like $300 something a box.
$300. Yeah, I had a Brian Johnson blue refractor auto, and I think I got $20 something for it.
Yeah. It's a opening boxes. It's a great way to turn a lot of money into a little bit of money.
It is, and then it's fun while you're opening, but then it's not so fun anymore.
No, yeah.
I'd rather just buy the like 2012 Bowman Draft. The best guy, Corey Seager, probably that you can get now.
Yeah.
Just go buy a refractor auto of Corey Seager.
Yeah.
If you want one, don't buy the box. It's just not worth it.
I would agree with that. So the next question, it comes from Up North Collectors, which is Mike and Luke. They have a channel here on YouTube where they open a lot of boxes. And their question is, they say, we open a lot of modern from 2013 to 2019 products. What products of baseball, basketball, football do you think will have the most value down the road? And then also, would you use PSA or BGS to grade cards, or would you use one grading company for certain cards and another company for different cards, like as far as sports go?
So I'll start that off with baseball. 2013 and newer baseball. I already talked about. I did a lot of Bowman investing. That stuff, Chrome is still king. That's it's the rule of thumb. But I've moved to where I like the products long term better that have the rookie cards more so than a prospect. I like Topps Update and I like Topps Heritage.
Yeah.
And I think if I was going to buy a long term, I would rather have those, because if you do open them, if you do choose to open them, you're going to be guaranteed to hit a lot of those base cards that you can turn around and grade and sell. You're not looking for that big colored refractor auto, and if you open a case of 2016 is it? I think it's 2016 that Vlad Jr.'s in Bowman. I mean, you got to hit. You don't just got to hit a base auto of him. You got to hit probably a refractor or better, and then it's got a grade high, like you said earlier. I don't know. I just don't like that gamble with those prices they're at now. I would rather go out and buy, this last year's Topps Update or Topps Heritage and hit Sotos and Acuna and guys like this, just hit their rookies and grade the heck out of those and hang on to them long term. And it's the same thing if I'm keeping it sealed. I would rather have those sealed because I think look at Mike Trout in 2011 Topps Update. I mean, those boxes are tremendous. You're not really. I mean, you're chasing some of the parallels and things, but really just the base card. I mean, that's all you want. I think moving forward, I think products like that are going to hold their value extremely well.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion on it. Heritage and Update would be my purchases for sure. Basketball, Prism wins out. I probably stay away from some of the higher end products if I'm just looking to grab it and hang on to it long term. I think some of these products that are mid level, like Prism, Optic, some of this stuff, grabbing cases that are pretty affordable. And it's the same thing. You're just looking for base cards and parallels of the base cards. You don't care to hit the fanciest patch and things like that over a long term. Leave that stuff to the group breakers, I think. That's my opinion. Then football's the tough one, though, because Topps losing their license, and be able to make Topps Chrome. Definitely older Topps Chrome is what I would say to buy, but Prism doesn't seem to carry quite the same value, so I'd probably lean towards Contenders in football.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I think, I pretty much agree with pretty much all that. Like, I think in baseball, Topps Update has been, it's kind of shown to be really popular. Especially, I think 2014 is probably still a pretty good value having Mookie in there.
Yep.
His stuff hasn't just gotten to Trout levels yet. Basketball, I want to say Optic, but that's what my personal taste is Optic, but
can it win Can it win a long-term race? And that's I think it can. I think every year it could gain a little bit more momentum, and so the older products could really see a surge. That's how I see it. Very similar to Prism. Prism, the first year it was popular, but it really didn't hit that next level of being considered almost a high-end product until a couple years down the road. Yeah.
So you're kind of thinking that Optic could possibly take that same path?
I absolutely think so. I think just by hearing the buzz around it, the way it looks, things like that, you could definitely see it here in 5 years down the road. People would rather buy it than they would Prism, or National Treasures or some of the other high-end products. Maybe it goes from $100 a box up to $200. Well, you still double your investment, and you can buy a lot of volume of it for what it costs right now.
What do you think about I think I'm hoping I read this right, but I'm thinking what they're kind of getting at is they're going to be busting these boxes. So I think they're talking about maybe what singles you can pull will maybe hold the most value down the road.
Yeah, I think
but
it all
the same answers. I think.
For me it's the same answers. I think if I'm busting now, I'm busting Heritage and Topps Update, or I'm keeping it sealed. If I was buying cases now, and I wish I'd have done this years ago. If I buy 10 cases of Topps Update, I probably open half of them and keep the other half sealed. And that would be my strategy to anybody. It mitigates that risk a little bit that you take on. And
I know from watching their channel, they do a really good job of taking advantage of Panini's first off the line program. So that makes a huge difference right there, especially when you're busting stuff, is getting in at that good price.
It does. Whether it's first off the line or if it's just pre-ordering well in advance. I used to do that a lot. A case that might be $1,000 at release, if you can get those things for $750 and get volume, you really can't go wrong with most products that aren't high risk. Now, some of the high-end products, you are going to swing and miss if you do that.
Yeah.
It's going to happen if you're opening them. We all know that. But are you going to hit some home runs? Yeah, you're going to hit some home runs. But I would stay away from those. I would bust the ones that show steady return with good rookie classes, not having to hit one huge card to make your money back. Those are the ones I would lean towards for sure.
And then with football, like, I mean, I totally agree with football, like as far as contenders goes. I will say that contenders football is probably one of the riskiest products that you can buy just because the auto checklist is massive, crappy. You know, you have lots of practice squad guys in there, guys that are never going to be anything.
Some of your best players, though, are offensive linemen that sell for nothing.
Yes.
After a few years, running backs, they sell for nothing. But the quarterbacks.
Football is very tricky. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's my least favorite of all of them. I used to bust a little bit more football. I don't even bust any anymore. I steer away from them. I still keep track of some of them just because I enjoy it, but I don't really I don't put much investment value in modern football. You know, if I was going to buy football, it's going to be older football. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I don't have a problem with some of the newer football stuff, but if I'm going to buy something, if I'm going to pay a good price for something that's current, it's going to be a quarterback.
It's a quarterback.
Even the running backs, they just don't have the value that they did.
Look at Todd Gurley right now. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl and he was basically a ghost, unfortunately. And I know his stuff's just been really plummeting. You know.
Yeah.
They've only got so many carries in them. It's just.
And the quarterbacks, they just keep playing longer and longer and making more and more money, putting up bigger and bigger numbers. So, yeah, it's a quarterback league, no doubt about it. So,
yep.
All right. So, what do we got next to talk about here?
Well, we had I think they had another question on there. Which grading company?
Oh yeah, you're right. Which grading company had a PSA or BGS?
So, I would prefer PSA. I've said it a million times. I prefer PSA. Their set registry is one of the biggest reasons I love theirs compared to BGS. Like their holders better. I like that it doesn't matter what grade you get, your collection looks the same all the way through.
Very uniform.
Very uniform. BGS, I like their auto grade a lot better on there. I like subgrades. So I don't think over the last few years they've had their stuff together as good and been prepared for this big surge in the market. In PSA, your returns are just better. PSA 10 is just the best investment on the market, period. So I would steer towards them. But you and I were just talking about this earlier today. The price of grading a PSA card is tremendously higher than it is grading a BGS card. They're going with BGS. So I don't see a problem with anybody using BGS now because that gap has closed just from a financial standpoint of what it costs you to invest to even grade your cards now.
My thoughts are I would also go with PSA. I don't like BGS. I'm not really I don't do like a lot of autos and stuff, so I don't really care if they grade the auto or not. And you can do that with PSA as well. It's just going to cost you more.
Cost a lot. It doesn't look as good either, I don't think.
But at the end of the day, I just think reputation-wise, I think looking toward the future especially, I think PSA, if everything all of a sudden in the grading card industry, if it started to crash and come down, PSA would be the last one standing.
Yep. No, they would.
I mean, they Beckett, SGC, everybody else would go first. PSA, their brand is big enough. I think they're the most trusted.
They're a publicly traded company. They've got a lot of, financial impact there because they're part of the Collector Universe, group, which is also does coins and, a lot of other things. So they've definitely got a bigger market, I think, just as a company.
And then also, unless you're grading, some pretty high-end stuff, if you're doing the non-guaranteed time with BGS, I mean, you're looking at a year wait to get your stuff back. I mean, can you imagine, you're a prospector. You just opened, some new football. You send it in to get graded, and you're not going to get that stuff back until, probably the start of next season. Yeah,
if you're lucky. And yeah, I mean, just think right now, if you send in, say, Vlad Guerrero Jr. stuff, he's the biggest prospect out there. you go out in the off season, you buy a bunch of stuff. Well, you might have it back lucky before next year's spring training starts if you're lucky at this point. So that's a good point. And my last big BGS, I've done some small BGS orders since then, but my last big order was 96 cards that I sent to BGS, and it was 6 months and 3 days, if I remember right. That's how long it took me to get them back. And so you're right. That's frustrating. I've had PSA take a long time too. You and I sent 2 PSA orders in last year, 2 years ago. We sent one 45-day when at that time 45-day orders were taking 90 days. We got it back, what is it, 6 or 7 days?
We got it back before the 10-day order.
Before the 10-day order. So you never have to have one BGS. You're typically on time on their guaranteed, and it takes at least 6 months to a year on the other one. So go ahead.
The last thing I'll say about Beckett, the last time that I sent an order to Beckett, it's been probably 3 years ago. They lost my order.
I forgot all about that. That's great.
They lost it. It was lost for over a month. I'm having to be on the phone with them.
Wasn't it some pretty high-end stuff?
I had what did I have in there? I had a 98, some stuff that I pulled out of 98 Bowman's Best, like Adrian Beltre auto. I can't remember what I had 25 cards, but they lost the order for about a month, and it was a struggle to go back and forth with them on a daily basis, for them trying to find it and all this stuff. And I don't know.
I was going to wait till the end to show my PSA orders. This might be a good time for me to go ahead and show my cards.
Yeah, let's see your.
So I've been working on this evening before we start shooting. I'm just getting a little PSA order ready to go, and so I've got nice little stack of Grant Hill cards there going, and there's 97, 98 Star Rubies, that's obviously a very, very high end card, and then
this is your renewal submission.
My renewal, yeah, this is my renewal. The Star Rubies was too expensive to go in on that, so I had to send it separate. There's a triumvirate illuminator, the rarely seen illuminator, and a Protect Game jersey. I don't know if you want me to show you all these, but
Illuminator. That sounds like a Ricky Vaughn pitch.
It is. That's where they got the name from it.
The Illuminator.
That's a high definition number to 25. Aerodynamics number to 25 gold. There's a 1/1 Grant Hill with some other guys on there that you may have heard. Rashid, Zach Randolph, and Elton Brand.
That's some pretty good guys.
Quite an odd group of guys. That's a superscript 1/1 right there.
Okay, that's a nice one.
Fleer Tradition Game Breakers. 0203 Fleer Showcase. That's a masterpiece 1/1.
Okay, so you got a couple of 1/1s in here.
Three of them in there. Prime Choice Reserve. These are really tough to find. Number to 100. Jamboree number to 25. Forces number to 50. And then here's its Fraternal Twin, the number to 25 version. And then here's the baseline groups silver. This is number to 50. So some fairly low number 90s cards.
So that's going to be a 15-day order. So
yeah, I think they're calling them 20 days now is what they put down.
Probably roughly a month. You'll probably have those back.
Probably so, but I'm sending them in with that Star Rubies. So that one's expensive. That's almost $1,500 card. So that one's expensive enough that one goes in under 8 days now. So I'll write down 8 days in the box, and I hope they finish most of it all in about that time. So so it's pretty nice stuff though going.
Yeah, that's a pretty good order.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get them graded for a while, and I've kind of put off renewing my submission, my membership. So I'm looking forward to getting that rolling.
I was going to ask you about this card and see if you think I should send it in on an order. I don't know if it would fit.
It is.
I don't know if this would fit in your order, but we'll take a look and see here.
Crack Kills. I think it would actually fit in perfectly with my Menendez brothers cards.
Yeah, this is a classic card. Just in case people don't already know, Warren Moon's just letting you know that crack will in fact kill you.
Well, thank God for Warren Moon to really put that message out there.
It says on the card here, it says, Warren Moon can burn you, but crack will kill you.
Do you think we could get Warren Moon on the next episode of this show just to talk about this?
I highly doubt it. I mean, I'll do my best to see if he would be interested in talking about the crack kills card, but
and then maybe we could get Magic Johnson on to talk about that one card that he had from the early '90s. I'm not going to say what it is, but I gave you graded one of those one time.
I think when it comes to the crack kills, we'd probably have better luck getting a plumber on here to talk about that.
Right. Do you mean like a trade plumber or like Jake Plumber?
I was thinking more like a trade plumber.
Trade. Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I think Jake Plumber. I don't know if we've reached Jake Plumber status on here yet.
So I'm gonna fire away a question at you now and
Okay.
see if you remember this. See if you want to elaborate on this. That it just these guys talking about these boxes, us breaking boxes and things like that. Do you remember what we used to do with all the stuff we would pull? It was nice stuff. It was just stuff we didn't want. Do you remember what we used to do with that in the 2000s?
Yeah. What we would do is we would take we would accumulate, we would open this is back when we were probably college, right?
Yeah, and right after we were probably in the low 20s, I would think. You're old as all.
I would say maybe every 4, 5, 6 months, we would just take all the cards that we had pulled from these boxes, the ones that we didn't want to keep. We would put all of it together in a huge lot, and then we would just kind of split the money. We would try to even it out where the lot had about half of your stuff, half of my stuff as far as value wise.
Yeah.
Just group it all together. And at this time on eBay, this was a lot of people were just selling these giant lots.
It was a popular practice during those years.
You buy one and it may just be total junk, or you could buy one and you might get lucky and get all kinds of good stuff.
Yep.
I mean, people now you just don't find a lot of good deals anymore on eBay because people are too smart. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say they're too smart. Really,
to look it up.
They don't know anything about it, but they have the ability to look it up really fast.
Oh, they can grab their phone and find out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've made it to where eBay has made it to where you don't have to have any knowledge about cards to still purchase them at good prices.
Correct. Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, we would we would put these lots together, sell them, and the one time that I can remember, I don't know how much did that lot go for, the one we were talking about earlier?
I think probably the most we ever had them go maybe $1,000, $800 if I remember right. Does that sound about right?
We had, I think, is that the one that we shipped to Canada?
So that one, I remember that one very well because I remember it was very cold. It was probably as cold in Oklahoma as it was in Canada where the shit was going.
Yeah.
And I had to package it all up, and it was the most the post office would do was 75 pounds. I had to put it in 2 boxes, and both of them were close to 70, 75 pounds. And ship it up there. I think that lot, I want to say it went for $2,000, $2,500 maybe.
It was a bunch of stuff.
It was a lot of stuff. I remember it was a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool 2000s cards I wish we had back. I think at that time I was busting 06 Bowman Draft baseball. So there's a lot of that stuff in there, a lot of cool stuff from there in there. But yeah, I think it was over $2,000 somewhere. And do you remember what we did with that money that came from that?
Unfortunately, I do remember what we did. We had this bright idea because no, it turned out to be bright. We thought it was a good idea. At the time, we had both been collecting cut autos. I had a couple, but you had a lot.
I had a ton, yes.
You had a ton of cut autos. I had a few. So we would look on eBay. We would see these legendary cuts, hot packs. You're going to get a cut auto in each pack. So we're like, oh, I mean, doesn't this sound great?
Didn't they advertise it as it was guys who would bust the case and they knew which one it was? They'd bust the case, they'd pull those out and then sell that.
that's how they advertised it. I'm
Right.
not. I mean,
That's not what happened. But
yeah, looking back on it now, I'm not. I'm pretty positive that's not what happened.
How many packs did we get? 4?
I think we got 4 packs, and we pulled 2 Joe Sewells,
A Billy Herman.
a Billy Herman, and
I don't remember. I was wanting to say it was what were the 2 brothers that used to Necro? One of the Necro brothers, maybe? Was it one of them?
I don't think it was one.
I don't remember who the 4th one. I know he was horrible. Happy Chandler? Was it Happy Chandler?
Maybe Happy Chandler.
I know it was worth a 10th of what we gave for the pack.
I mean, it might as well have been Joe Nobody because nobody cared who it was.
Nobody at all, and you know that was a disaster, and
that was an important lesson.
It was an important lesson. I remember that.
Not buy hot packs.
No. Well, that's not the only packs we've ever bought that were pretty high end. Remember our 86 Fleer packs?
Yeah.
I forgot about those until that's just now dawned on me. We're talking about maybe we didn't learn our lesson the first time.
No.
We needed to
we were in college. I think what was there like 3 or 4 of us went in together.
Yeah, Brandon J, a few of us that went in.
Yeah. It was like 3 or 4 of us went in together, bought a pack of 86 Fleer. I think we paid probably $300.
I don't think it was quite that much. A couple $100 though. Yeah,
probably a couple $100. Basically, if we pull the Jordan, we were going to split it. But if otherwise, we were just going to do a draft for the cards.
And we did. I got both stickers. I remember I got Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas stickers.
I think I got the highest price card of the whole thing, and it was the checklist.
I remember the checklist. But we didn't get any of the big rookies. No Ewing, no Clyde Drexler, no Olajuwon, nobody like that.
Well, of course we didn't because it was clearly a search pack.
Absolutely, of course it was. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So we didn't learn a lesson the first time. Then we decided to go ahead and up the game with auto hot packs, cut auto hot packs. It did not work out good, but I do remember something did come out of all that is we bought the Gil Hodges and Dizzy Dean cut autos.
Oh yeah, from the rest of the money with the lot.
And the Dizzy Dean that you had for a while, then I ended up buying it from you at one point. You had it. It was number 2 of 4, and it was actually in a Beckett. Do you remember that at the time?
Yeah.
Same serial number.
Yeah.
So this would have been in 2006. Does that sound right? Probably mid 2006. I don't know what month the Beckett was, but if anybody ever comes across it, it's you'll see it in there. It's one of the first couple of pages, the actual color pages, and it was serial number 2 of 4. But those were cool cards. Both of them were really cool cards.
Oh yeah, it was cool. It was a lot better than the hot pack stuff.
But at that time, like you said, I had cut autos, Mel Ott, Jimmy Fox, George Sisler. I had every Lefty Grove. I had Lefty Grove 1 of 1. George Sisler 1 of 1. I had a lot of nice ones. A couple of Pie Trainers when I was buying his stuff. So I had some of the big boys, and I love those cards, but not enough to buy another hot pack.
No. I don't need any more Joe Sewells.
No more Joe Sewells. So I want to move into kind of what we're both collecting a little bit and let you talk about what you got in yesterday. A lot of the people that see this video are going to see what you already got. They already saw your video.
Yeah.
And then that's going to lead us into talking about some refractor products and things like that.
So, yeah, for anybody that didn't see the video that I posted yesterday, I got these 2. What these are is 2009 Topps Chrome Russell Westbrook Gold Refractors. This one's numbered 9 of 50, and the other 35 of 50, which Michael was kind enough to point out.
I tried to refrain. I tried to top something nice, and I finally just said to hell with it. I'm going to let you know what I think about you buying a 35 of 50 card.
Michael was kind enough to point out that is the jersey number of that guy that used to play for Oklahoma City, which we do not mention his name.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But, yeah, I mean, I think pretty much anybody that follows my channel, they probably know by now. Russell Westbrook is my favorite player. I live here in Oklahoma City. I mean, to me, he's, people love to bash him, like, on the national stage. I kind of have the same feeling that he does about it. I just don't give an F,
No, no.
when it comes to that. I mean,
I don't either. But there's so much loyalty left in sports now for a guy to actually stay when he may or may not should have. I mean, that they kind of, you get rid of James Harden by trade. Durant leaves. You got all these things going on. Reggie Jackson was playing really well. We lost him. We've had a lot of good guys. Of course, Oladipo. We've had some really good guys come and go, and Westbrook's been the glue. I mean, he's been.
I'll say this about Westbrook. He is, by far. I mean, he's nothing close to being a perfect player. But he's perfect for Oklahoma City.
So yeah, it's a. I mean, I hadn't been to Oklahoma or Oklahoma City. It's a working class place. It's a, and he gives effort, and people appreciate that.
Yeah, nobody plays harder than he does, and you can say what you want about him, but in my opinion, he has over the last over the last 3 years. I mean, he essentially saved this franchise, in my opinion, because when that guy left, I mean, this could have been if Russell, would have been like a lot of players now, would be like, well, I want out of here too. I mean, this could have been. I mean, we would be.
Could Paul George? Paul George could have done that too.
Yeah, we would be at the bottom of the barrel as far as NBA franchises go. So,
and it's such a small market, signing free agents there. I mean, that's part of the reason why Durant left. That's part of the reason why we couldn't keep Harden, and we ended up trading him. You're just not going to sign a lot of guys like that. For Westbrook and George, I have to give him credit too. It's pretty awesome.
And this is something too that people that don't live here, like, I'm just going to kind of put this in perspective for them because, Paul George is having a phenomenal year. I mean, like, in my opinion, I mean, he's got to be in the top 3 for MVP this year.
Yeah, I think Kawhi, Greek Freak and him, I think it's probably those 3 right now.
But just to put this in perspective for people that don't live here, as long as Russell Westbrook is here in Oklahoma City, this will always be Russell Westbrook's team. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. No, there's no doubt about it. And I think Paul George, he might not.
It's not even a debate around here.
He would probably tell you the same thing, secretly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like people nationally, they may look at that and be like, well, Paul George is clearly the best player right now. He might be, but it doesn't matter. This is always going to be Russ's team as long as he's here.
No, I agree. So you're collecting path, looks like sealed boxes and collecting things of Westbrook, and just obviously your channel name lets everybody know you love Refractors. Is that kind of the path you're taking?
Well, like I got rid of some of like the newer Prism boxes that I had recently, and I'm not gonna say on here exactly what I'm looking at right now, but let's just say there could be a big card coming up pretty soon. It'd be a pretty big single card.
You want to know? I'm on the opposite end of that. I'm looking for Grant Hill cards if anybody's got any.
Well, let's hear a little bit about what's going on with your collection at the moment.
Yeah, so a lot of people have probably seen it on Facebook, Instagram, Blowout, eBay. I've been auctioning things off left and right. So I'm not getting rid of my top cards. I'm keeping my top 150 Grant Hill cards. They're not going anywhere. I'm not getting rid of them.
Because I think a lot of people, when you first said something about selling, they just kind of thought that, oh man, he's getting rid of everything. He's getting out.
I did. I only had so much text to write in little
right
together, but I put on there, I'm not moving my high end unless I just get blown away by an offer. And by blown away means it's not money. It's trading up to a bigger card. I don't really want to sell. And so, we're going to try to buy a house this summer. So some of the money is going to go to that. Some of the money I sell stuff is going to go right back into just consolidating and thinning out a little bit some of my collection. I had ended up with over 5,000 Grant Hill cards. Have no need for 5,000 Grant Hill cards. Player collecting and super collecting, it was wearing me out. Not being able to buy anything else. looking for those little cards that you and I talked about it, and we described it as you're buying stuff that you really don't love. It's just a means to check something off a list. I mean, that's really all it is. And so that kind of got to wearing on me pretty bad. You can see over here in the background, you can see I got 3 or 4 white boxes over here, but there's, those are full of top loaded cards and jersey cards. Those are all going on eBay. All the lower end or more common things, they're going on there. So I've already sold a boatload. I've got a ton more to go. It's going to take me 6 months.
Just super collect somebody like LeBron or Jordan, and then you won't have that problem.
Yeah, I'll have one card. It'd be great.
Yeah, there you go. See,
I'll save it for 5 years and buy a PMG and call it good.
See, I'm a problem solver here.
You're a problem solver. So that, I'm still buying high-end Grant Hill cards. I've got several on the radar. I'm still working on that. If you got any, I'm your guy. But I'm not buying really probably anything under a couple $100, $100, $150 maybe at the least. But I'm really not even buying anything that cheap unless it's something that's pretty darn rare.
Yeah.
So, I want to move back to what, like, kind of your Topps Chrome stuff. And what I told you I wanted to go over was, your goals yesterday. I saw them. It sparks an interest in me, and start realizing, it's Westbrook's second year. It's a gold refractor. It's cool. And I get to thinking about, all these years of colored refractors and things like that. Because I'm a huge refractor fan. Obviously, the name of your channel alludes people to think you're probably a little bit of a fan. But so I wanted to kind of go back and talk about the history of refractors a little bit, specifically the gold.
By the way, the name of my channel, it's a blessing and a curse as well, because a lot of times people, like, they'll see my channel name and they assume that that's all I like is refractors. But
yeah, I don't assume that, but
I just wanted to have like a clever name, so that's just what I came up with. And
no, I
do love them, obviously, too.
You do, and specifically, I know when you found those golds, from Alabama Slamma, Justin.
It was a no-brainer. I knew, like, I texted you as soon as I saw them. I just knew I was going to have to buy them.
Yeah, you got to have them, and I know you're able to seal the deal with Justin and everything, and to find 2 of them together like that, it's probably not going to happen very easily, and so that's cool. Let's talk about Topps Chrome, Topps Finest. These other products. Let's talk about golds and the traditional. I call them the traditional colors. Gold number to 50. Some products it varies a little bit, but most of the time it's number to 50. And then obviously you've got oranges with Bowman Chrome, number to 25. Purples were always numbered to 10. That changed a few years ago. They made them numbered to God only knows what. I don't even know anymore. Blues have varied from 150 to 99, but blue's still a traditional color to me. Blue's that one that a lot of people that can't afford a gold, maybe they go out and buy a blue when they can, and then you buy another blue, and then you sell those 2 blues, and you go out and get you a gold. But gold, to me, gold it's a powerful color in our hobby.
It's like the gold is the one mainstay to me. Like, I mean, of course, everybody wants gold. Like, I mean, just think if it's gold. But yeah, like, like there's, especially like some of the newer stuff. I mean, there's so many different ones. But the one that's gonna, even with Prism, the one that's gonna stay in the test of time is gonna be the golds.
It's gonna be gold, yeah, and you're absolutely right. So I've got a little PowerPoint here. I'm gonna switch over and share here. And most of these are ones I pulled or you pulled. We pulled it, together or something like that. But then I grabbed a few of the bigger ones just for people to see and kind of show just some of the bigger cards, golds. The ones I pulled, they're not the bigger cards. They're just ones I grabbed just to see different designs. So
okay,
I'll do that, and we'll talk through them here real quick. So bear with me for a second. And okay, can you see that now?
Yep.
Okay, so obviously I pulled this card. I don't even know when. This is a 99 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor from football. It's number 25.
Those are tough to pull.
Those are tough to pull. I've pulled 2 of them, Troy Aikman and Ty Law. So actually two good guys. But it's pretty plain. It's refractor, but this writing here is in gold. It's nothing crazy. I pulled this Albert Almora out of. I opened 3 single packs of this in a card shop in Austin, Texas, in February of 2013. So just a couple months after this product came out, and pulled this Almora out of 1 pack. These are jumbo packs. Almora out of 1. Turned around, and the next pack pulled a Purple Ice number to 10. It was the first year of Purple Ice was this product. Of 10 of somebody else, some common guy. And then my 3rd pack had a Yu Darvish redemption auto. That was his rookie auto right there. So yeah, pretty cool. But I love this. Everything from 2011 and 12, and really into 13 Bowman Chrome. The golds just look better than anything else. Over here, Topps Heritage. These golds have become very popular. They're only numbered to 5. I pulled this one a couple years ago. And yeah, decent guy, not the best guy to get, but still cool to pull that. They to me, they look really good with that textured background. Mookie Betts, obviously, that was a good one. I wish I did have it. I did pull a gold auto. I just couldn't find the picture of it. I probably sold it for a little bit too little, don't you think?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think I got about $400 for it. You think that was a bargain at the time?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably okay at the time, but now it's not looking.
Yeah, I pulled a green, a blue, and a gold auto of him at release, and my Chris Bryant's and Jose Abreu's outsold him by double. And
yeah. I mean, yeah, of course they did at the time.
So I really screwed up there, but still cool. The non-auto is still cool. And you probably remember this one. I don't remember if you or I pulled this. We pulled the blue and the gold.
I pulled the gold.
You pulled the gold, and I pulled the blue, I believe.
Yeah.
But we had busted, 5 or 6 cases of 2012.
I think we did 5 cases, 5 jumbos, right?
And 1 hobby.
Okay, 5 and 1, yeah.
Yeah. But we pulled this, and this at release, this was a huge card to get. But same thing with Almora. That year of Bowman, to me, it's just the best looking. 2012 overall, from Bowman Chrome, and then into Bowman Draft. And then here's some bigger ones. I just ran a Google search and pulled these off the web. But Aaron Rodgers is Gold X-Fractors, 2005. I don't really care for the sticker auto, but outside of that, that's a pretty amazing card.
Yeah, and those look so much better like in person.
Yeah,
it's hard to get like the true shine look, from the scan.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's got this checkerboard look in the background, and then the same thing with the Kobe. I mean, it scans hard to do. This from 97 Topps Finest.
They look phenomenal in person.
They do. It's atomic refractor, essentially, is what it is. It wasn't called atomic at that time, but that's basically what it is. But yeah, these are both phenomenal. And then I've got 2 more here I grabbed. I didn't grab LeBron James Topps Chrome Gold just because Josh just got his, and he's posted videos. So people have seen that a lot lately. So I grabbed maybe a little bit lesser seen Topps Finest Gold Refractor. I mean, these kind of just a classic looking card there, But here's the big card. This is the Trout. I mean, this card here. If I'm buying Mike Trout cards, and I'm gonna be able to pay for one of these. I want the gold long term. Probably more than an orange. Like if I'm just buying it off of eye appeal and everything, I'm gonna buy a gold.
What is that right now? Probably 60, 70 grand, maybe?
I'd say around 50 to 60, probably for a high grade at least. When season starts going, once he starts tearing it up again, it's going to spike a little bit. So these are as crazy as that is, I still think they're good buys.
Yeah,
I think you're looking at a modern player right before our eyes that just looks like one of the all-time greats. That's hard to find. You see that with LeBron right now, and obviously you definitely see it with him. You see it with Mike Trout, and that year at Bowman, Bowman Draft, his stuff is very short printed. His demand is far going to outgrow the supply, especially on these low numbered autos.
Yes,
it's going to happen. So I just want to show these. I just want to show a few of the bigger gold refractors that are out there, and then I'm going to stop sharing that here. Okay, we're back. Okay. And I'll show just a few. I don't know if you grabbed any more of yours or not. Or just
no, I don't have anything else to show.
I'm not going to show a ton. I'll go through this pretty fast, but I've got a ton of gold refractors in Grant Hill and different ones, different years. There's Bowman. There's a Bowman one, just a square border with the gold. And then you start getting into some of the fancier ones. This is number 25. This is Team's Finest Gold Refractor. These look amazing in hand. It's hard to tell through there. And then probably the biggest gold refractor or gold-based refractor you can get is the embossed gold refractors.
Oh, yeah.
You really can't beat these just from a popularity standpoint, just from the look. His is one of the worst ones in the set as far as his die cut's just a little bit here and right there. Some of the guys, like Jordan's, looks amazing, and even the back is a atomic refractor. I don't know if we can pick it up, but gold refractors, there's just a lot of power with gold in our hobby, like I mentioned earlier. And a lot of the biggest cards, they have some gold base to them at some point. So I just want to touch on that for a minute. Go through.
And I mean, just to kind of finish on that whole point, when you have, if you're a collector and you're collecting modern and you're wondering man, there's 38 different variations of this card. Which one's going to hold its value? Go with the gold.
Gold, blue, or orange.
Gold is always going to,
for me.
Yeah, the gold is always going to hold value. Basically any product. So
I like the red. I like the way the reds look, but we've seen variations on numbering on them and different things. So gold, some products, gold, it does vary a little bit, but overall, it's most time it's 50 copies. You can take it to the bank. It's 50 copies, and
go for the gold.
Go for the gold. Just don't get 35 or 50, and you're good.
Yeah. Well, hey, when you're looking for something like that, you can't be picky about the number.
Now, 2 numbers off, 33 or 50 is perfect every time, but not 35.
Okay. All right. So, are you ready for random 5?
We need some awesome music when we say that.
Yeah, I came up with something. I can throw something in there, maybe.
I'm absolutely not ready for it, but I want you to do it anyways.
Okay. So let me explain to you.
Oh God.
What is going on here? So I'm going to have you pick the ultimate NBA starting lineup based on how the game is played today. You can pick any player, any era, but we're playing by today's rules. I want to hear your ultimate starting lineup, and then I'll give you mine.
My ultimate starting line. I mean, it's going to have Jordan on it no matter what.
Yeah.
So Jordan's going to be my shooting guard.
I mean, we're basically talking positionless basketball. I mean,
we are, but
trying to put your 5 guys that you think could win.
5 guys, understand, but to me, I still need to compartmentalize them. Just
okay.
Obviously they need to play pick and roll defense, cover anybody, handle the ball. So I'm going to have Jordan. I'm probably going to have LeBron at more of a power forward position, which might surprise people. Like, what are you thinking? But I probably have him more in a position like that. I'm going to put Grant Hill on there just because I'm a homer. He's going to be my small forward.
You're definitely a homer.
A homer. But he would translate perfectly to today's game. If he was playing now, he would translate. Probably my center. I'm going to take a guy like Kevin Garnett, guy that can move around, can shoot, can play defense.
That's 4 guys.
That's 4 guys, and I need point guard wise. I'll probably take a guy like an Allen Iverson who can just do a lot of good things, play defense, can create, shoot. I know a lot of people are like, that's a crazy team, and obviously with Hill on there, I understand why. But and then if I was going to pick a 6th man, I want a guy who can just absolutely score in today's game. So I probably go, man, that's a tough one. I probably go out maybe a guy like a James Harden, throw him on there as my 6th man, guy who doesn't know doesn't even know how to spell defense, but he can score points. Somebody like that. A lot of the guys from the 80s, I don't know how well they would translate. Some of those guys, Larry Bird would probably translate great. Offensively, I don't know defensively if he would or not. But
we have 2 of the same guys,
LeBron and Jordan.
I'm guessing you can probably figure out which 2 guys we have.
LeBron and Jordan, yeah.
LeBron and Jordan.
Sure.
I've got on my 5, I've got Tim Duncan, and then I've got Larry Bird, and then I've got Steph Curry to go along with Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah, Curry. I could on my for the way I set mine up, I could definitely interchange Iverson and Curry, and then really I put Hill on there just that was more to be funny, but I would throw a Charles Barkley in there. Because you can really just think about that front court with Garnett, LeBron, and Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
You can interchange a lot of things. Tim Duncan, that's an interesting guy because I don't know how he would translate now.
I'm going with like the young Tim Duncan. Where he's
Tim
athletic. I think he could switch off, play the pick and roll.
Him, and I think I told you at one point in time, David Robinson, I think he would translate phenomenal now too. So there's some interesting guys. There's some guys out there I don't know, like Magic Johnson. I don't know how well he would translate now. A lot of big point guards now. Part of his dominant stats. I'm not saying he wouldn't be good. Don't misunderstand me, but his dominant stats was because he was so much bigger than everybody. Well, there's a lot of big, strong athletes now. So I don't know how well some of these guys would translate. Kareem, I think Kareem and Shaq, guys, I think they would struggle a lot more than they did in their era. I just don't know how many minutes they'd be on the court.
I mean, today's game is not built for big guys. It's built for shooting the three, and then you got to be able to switch on defense.
I think guys like Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Dirk Nowitzki. I think some guys like that. I think, man, if they were in their prime, they would be pretty amazing now. Jason Kidd would translate with the open court and can't touch anybody, and how big he is. The problem is he's not a great shooter, but I think his assists in this day and age and era would be amazing.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the random five this week. I mean, I can't argue too much with your team. I mean,
we can argue with Grant Hill. That's okay though.
Other than Grant Hill, but I mean,
but he would be good now. Would he be in the top five? Probably not. But he's in my top five.
I mean, all you have to do is have a team that could beat the other team.
That's the whole idea.
You gotta be who you're playing. That's all that matters.
It is, and it'd be interesting to see, just how some of these guys would match up. But Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, that's essentially would be our centers. There's not necessarily a center, but I don't know who I would pick as the better guy in today's basketball. But Kevin Garnett, man, he would be amazing now. I think maybe better.
I'll go with the big fundamental.
I can't really blame you.
All right. Well, I think that's. I think we've went on for long enough tonight. So
yeah, we've rambled on. Well, you have.
We might have lost our viewership.
What viewership?
After this episode.
What viewership?
Our loyal viewers might turn on us if we go on too much longer. So
true.
You got anything you want to close with?
No, just we'll be back next time, and if you same thing as last time. If you've got anything you want us to talk about, we'll talk just about anything. We might not know what we're talking about, but we'll at least talk about it.
I'll agree with that part. We may not have a clue what it is, but yeah, I'll talk about it for a while. Probably longer than what they want to hear, but
I'm sure it wouldn't take much for us.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me again here tonight, and
we need a person on here next time with us.
Yeah, we do actually.
We need to call out. We need to. I don't know if we need to have an audition process or if we just need to start, randomly messaging people and see, and the first one to answer gets to automatically come on. I don't know which one would work best, but
how about we just how about if anybody wants to come on, they just let us know.
That's the problem, Andy. Nobody wants to do it.
Maybe nobody wants to come on. We're begging for guests, so if anybody wants to come on, let us know, and we can probably do it.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll catch you guys later.
Later.